this type of this thing. Funny. That is good. Okay, I was explaining the types of okay, using this dot to access the value by using this dot notation. Okay, so far, if there's any question, anyone can ask. I don't think anybody has any question. Okay, so moving on. The next thing we are to talk is loop. Yeah, loop
Hello,
is
Dayo.
yeah.
Hello, Dayo. The
Yeah.
JSON, you haven't talked about the JSON, no?
About what?
The JSON from the from
Okay,
JSON. You haven't
okay.
talked about it.
Okay, this is a JSON file. JSON, the full meaning of JSON is JavaScript object notation. So if
Okay.
we JSON, this is it. So JSON is JavaScript object notation.
Okay.
It's an open standard format. So let me open example of what. Okay, let me use most developer the Mozilla. Okay, this is this here. So it's almost like the object, what do you call it? This is an example of a JSON. That is that. So JSON, the only big thing is that JSON has, okay, the way I did this guy here, this guy called now, this variable called now, it's a JSON file because it has a key and an object, so a value. Then there's another object inside it again. That's the example. Let me read. Let me just read it. So it contains methods for passing JavaScript object notation, converting into values of this, blah blah blah. Okay. This one is a
Can
syntax
I
for
come in here?
serializing objects. Yes.
All right. Who asked for Jason? I think that was Israel, right?
Is
Okay.
yes.
All right. So the idea behind JSON is just that JSON is widely used or widely, it's like a standard. All right. Regardless of either you're writing JavaScript or you're writing PHP or writing Python or you're writing Perl or Ruby or any language right there, like JSON is a standard. Okay. And borrowed from JavaScript. So then if you understand the way objects are structured in JavaScript,
Yes.
you you can flow with JSON. JSON is just like once again, it's a widely used and it's language independent. So the same way it is in JavaScript is the same way it is in Python, the same way it is in every other language out there. Does that make sense to you?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, sir. I'm okay now.
Okay. So now we're going to loop. So now this loop thing is like a major part that we have to understand because it's very, very useful. Okay. So let me comment this out. Now loop. So a loop is like, okay, for example, we have this should I use an example? Okay, we have this object in this array called this array called fruit. So when we want to go through, we want to get the items inside this variable fruit. We want to get all the items there. We have apple, carrot, banana. Okay, if we say we want to make use of index now, let's say console.log fruit dot okay fruit then index of let's use 0. The index is 0. Now when we print this to our console, we have something like this. Apple is there. If I change it to 1 and I save, it will give you carrot. If I change it to 2 and I save, it will give you banana. So now, what if you want to print everything that is here? You want to print it out. How do you do that? So you are going to look a loop is like a normal year looping. That means something that is taking over and over, like happening over and over again. So if you want to print out these items one by one, let's say apple, carrot, and banana. One way you can do it, which is an hard way, is by using uh, this way. You can say 0, 1, 2, and to print everything we have apple, carrot, and banana. But what if we have like 1,000 things inside here? How do we work out? How do you work with it? You can just make it of a loop, and the loop will just give you everything at once. So instead of you doing this long method and nonsense way, you can just use a for loop. There's something called the for loop. So there are different types of loop. There's the first one we are talking about here is a for loop. So how do we work with for loop? So for us to make it of for loop, use for, then open our bracket. Let's say I equals to 0. Then use this what's the name now? Colon. Semicolon I mean. Then for I equals to 0, I is less than or equals to, or let's say less than this fruit. Now we are using fruit. Hello. Okay. So if I is less than fruit dot length, then our semicolon again, then I plus plus, then open our colon, and open our parenthesis, then say also dot log fruit. Okay, I've made a mistake here. Yeah. So when we save this and we refresh, yes. So when we save this and we refresh, you can see all the fruits that we have here. So no matter how much we add, let me add more stuff to it. Let's say we have um purple, purple. We have mango, and we save our work. So the more we save, the more it adds to the list. So we don't have to bother ourselves. So what this what this code is doing is that it is going over this um it is going over this our list, this is our array here, over and over and checking everything that we did there. So the reason why we're using this fruit dot length is because it is checking the length of the array. So it's checking if the length, if the, like now when I added this two to it, we check the length and saw that okay, I've added more items to it. So we use fruit dot length. For I is equal to 0, I is less than fruit dot length, then I plus plus. I plus plus means it is increasing the size, increasing the it is checking it that it is going okay, it is going okay this way. The first thing it did is it check the fruit, it saw apple, it will go again, check again, it saw carrot, it print it go again, check banana, it will see banana there, it print it out, it go again, check pawpaw, print it out. So it continues this loop. That's why it's called a loop. It continues checking. So when it sees that it is the end of the loop, that nothing is there again, stop. So I didn't really explain that way. But does anyone have any question? Moving on your question, I'll be able to throw more light. Hello.
What I would expect is, um, Israel, can you please share your screen with us and try and create an array and write a loop to go through each element inside of this array?
So please, can you come again?
Like share your screen with us, creating an array. That is the question now. Create an array and write a loop to go through each item inside of the array. Just log it, just console log it.
I'm coming.
And Oluwaseun, please, I would like you to prep because I want you to be the one to take us on Git. Like these Git commit, clone, pull, and all that. I want you to prep ahead so that you can explain that to us. It might not be today, but depending on how far we move today. But I want you to just have that in mind. We're still waiting for you, Mr. Israel. Okay, it's taking too long. Taiwo, are you there?
Yes, I'm there, but I'm not making use of this. I'm just jotting down so that I can. My system is not with me because I'm not at home. So I make use of an available system. And there's no VLC code on it. So I'm making use of Jota. So I'm jotting everything that is being discussed down, so I can practice it when I get to.
Okay. Um, I would actually love Israel to show us that because he's one of those persons that uh, were more
Yeah.
vocal about we going over there doing this recap video. So I just want him to
But,
just to be sure that he's really getting it.
but
Yes.
what Dayo has taught, what he has been teaching so far, at least with the pace he's moving, I think with what he has taught so far, I can be able to do all the things he has done so far with my understanding. Maybe I will share that with him later when I get home so that I can assess it. I can share it with you also that you can assess it. So I can know how my strength on the work is for now. But for now, what he has been teaching, I think I'm really getting it and it's making a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. All right. That's great. That's great. Okay. Okay. If Mr. Israel is not system coming on, so Dayo, please continue.
Okay. Um. Okay. I was trying out something, and okay, I'm trying to check for the case of a number. So the, the same for loop. For example, we have a number equals to 10. So our number is 10. Then we say for I equals to 0, I is, let's say, less than or equals to 10, less than or equals to 10, then I plus plus. So when we console dot log I, when we console dot log I, you can see that we have 0 to 10. Now let me just do a little quick. Let me change this into less than 10. You can see that the 10 went away, is now 9. So whatever value you put here, if I put greater than or equals to 10, that is actually, let me use that. I don't know if it's going. You can just try out what will happen if you change the value here. If you change the value here, what will happen? So the reason why this one is fruit.length is because the fruit is variable call put is a variable that has all this. But this one, in this case, we're having only number, and number is not, it does a normal this thing. It does this variable called saving number. So when I save this one, like, okay, sorry, I didn't do this thing. Okay. So just try to change the values of this thing. Try to change the values of when you put less than or equals to, greater than or equals to, and see what will happen to your distance. So I think that's what I can see on for loop. And if there's any question, you can push it to the chat or anything. Okay, so the next thing
Hello,
is,
sir.
yeah,
Yeah, can I share my screen now?
okay.
All right, please do. Thank you, Daya. I want him to
Yeah.
really show us how much is understood. All right, Mr. Israel, please go on.
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen now. So this is what I'll be doing.
All right. So the idea is that you create this array and you will write a for loop to list each of the items in the array and show it to us on the console.
Sir? Hello, sir?
Yes, write a for loop.
Okay, a for loop.
Yes, to go through each item in the array and log it
Okay.
inside of the browser's console.
Okay.
I think we only need to save it to run it, right? We can just, if you save it, it should run. Or isn't that the case?
I've saved it.
All right. That means you don't have live server installed.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yes, true, true.
So, but even if you don't have live server installed, just open the particular HTML file directly.
In labor, what's this in labor? I'm not wonder. I was more black in stripes, more stripes that came. Then they beating me. They beat me. In prisons are more frequent. In death, more often, he has died many times. They stoned him, they said that he was in a blessing. After the death, just resurrected him. From the Jews, 5 times I received 39 stripes, 40 minus 1. They give Jesus, they scored Jesus for it. For us, for 5 times. Three times I was beaten with rods. Once I was stoned. 3 times I was shipwrecked.
All right, so let's check the console.
It's one out of the two. The nights and day I have been in the deep. 26. The journey is often with berries of water, with berries of robbers, with berries of my own country, with berries of Gentiles, with berries in the city, berries of ignorance, berries in the country.
So inside of your HTML file, it appears that you are loading control.js as against main.js.
Sir?
Inside of your HTML file,
Yes.
the JavaScript you wrote just now was you recorded it inside main.js. And inside of your DOM class.html, it appears that you are calling control.js inside of your DOM class.html. Line 17.
Oh, okay.
Why did they call it night affliction? He said they are not for moments. By the time it comes out better. That is the same way you come out better. That amen is not correct. I said that's how you come out better. If you believe in shout, it's 7-4.
So your code is having an error. But what I wanted you to see is just that by looking at the error you have inside this console now,
Yes.
it tells us like on line 8, you have an uncaught syntax error. You have a
Yes.
token that is unexpected. So let's go to line 8 inside main.js and let's see. Main.js line 8.
Yes. The I.
Okay. So it's telling you that you can see even Visual Studio Code has underlined it for you that colon is not supposed to be. It's semicolon.
Genesis 50, verse 22. Genesis 50.
You added an apostrophe.
Yeah, I've seen.
Yeah, we don't need it. And then again, as you can see, we're making a mistake with it. You wrote O as against 0.
Okay, that means 0. Is 0. Oh.
I wanted to ask if that was how 0 was. Okay, so let's save now. And reload it. All right, fruit is not a function. Just remove your function from it. We're not using the function here. All right, just remove your fruit. The reason why I'm saying no, you will still get an error. Just remove your fruit. The reason why I said to is because we're not using it. But besides that, on your line 9,
Yes.
line 9, your fruit, you're trying to access the index. So it's a square bracket, not the curved one, square bracket. So when you're trying to like get any value or any item from an array, okay, the
Yes.
square bracket is what you use, not the curved one. Square bracket.
Okay.
Yeah. So just high. We just need the index alone. And 2, your line 4 and 5 is not needed, I believe.
Okay.
God is the same strength of his anointed.
No, no, that's not what I meant. You need to, yes, we need that one there. All right. So let's save the program and run. All right, line 8, let's check that. You're missing.
I think it's semicolon.
There needs to be an. Oh, okay. For some, line 8.
After fruit, you open the bracket.
Okay, console.log. Line 8, please close it. You opened, you have to close it at the end. You open 2 brackets, you only closed 1. You opened 2 brackets, you only closed 1. So complete it by closing the second bracket.
Okay.
All right. Let's check it now. We need to refresh, I believe. Did you refresh?
Yeah, I did. I did.
All right. Fruit is not a function still. I said if we're trying to access the elements, the index, an element inside of a list or an array by the index, you put square bracket, not the curved one. So remove
Which one
the
should I remove?
bracket. Just we only need the square bracket in front of the fruit. Fruit square brackets high. Fruit square brackets I.
Yeah. This is it now.
Yes, square brackets, not this curved one.
Square. Okay. Okay.
No, no, no.
Now that's curly braces. Let's go with the square bracket. The one you removed earlier, it was there before, but you removed it just now.
This.
Exactly. Nice. Nice. So close it, yes. Okay. So let's save it now.
Okay.
So can you see now that it's working fine? So let's go back to your. So what is happening on line 7 is that you created a variable called I,
Okay,
all
sir.
right? And you created the value to be equals to 0. And then we now said that if the value of I is less than the length of the array fruit, keep increasing the value of I for us. That's I plus plus. Keep increasing the value of I. Okay. Now, for each increase that happens, give me, that's on line 8 now, give me fruit, and you're now passing that index. So it's going to occur for 0, which is the initial value, and for every increase afterwards. That is for 0 and 1. All right?
All right, sir.
So the length of fruit is what? The length of the array fruit is what?
Length of fruit is
Yes.
0.
One.
The length. Okay, so do it console.log fruit.length now. Let's see, just beneath fruit. Console.log.
In Jesus' name we pray. Can I hear you in the thunder?
Fruits.length. Yeah, the length. Just to show you how that works. So let's save it and reload. So you can see now that you have two constant at both cases. Now let's go back to your code again. So console.log the index. Now just below, yeah, console.log the index. That's I. Console.log I.
Console.log I.
Inside of the no, like what you want to log is the value of I. All right, nice, nice. Go. So you can see that the length of fruit is constant, but the index, the value of I is changing, it's increasing. All right. So
Yes.
up until the point where value of I is going to be equals to 2, which would not happen, just keep increasing the value of I. So had it been that the value of fruits, the length is 10, it will keep increasing it up until 9. Do you get it now?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Dio, please let's continue.
Okay. Okay. So I can also decide to. Okay, let me add more to this code here. Now I'm logging out each group, so I can decide to add something to it. For example, let me say plus. This is concatenation. Then open my screen is a fruit. When I save my work and I come over here, so okay, okay, let me use comma. Mm. Okay, don't let me complicate matters. Okay, so another this thing I would like to touch is the for each loop. So the for each loop is also is an easier way to do this of for loop. So the for each loop is how will I say it? Um is okay. Let me just do an example of the for each loop for this same work here. So let me comment this one out. Then start my for each. So to make use of a for each loop, it's almost the same thing as doing this your for loop, but it's more easier and much more clear. So I will say fruits now. The title of the name of this my variable is what fruit dot. So I'll write for each. Then open my bracket. Okay. So it takes a function. It takes a function. Then inside this my function, I'm going to add an argument. Let me call the argument um I don't know why it's not letting my head. Let me say one. Okay. Then I use one console.log one. Yeah. So when I save my work and I come here, I can see all my codes. Yes. Okay, let me explain it better. The time is going off now, so I don't want to start and cut off again. We have less than a minute for the timer.